Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of one of the most active teams in free agency, the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the home of Houday Nation. Now, if you found the show, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that thumbs up. We're doing awesome. We're at 905 subscribers. I am so happy with this. You guys are doing awesome. Let's keep it rolling. I can't believe this many people actually want to watch my show and listen to what this moron has to say. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. Like, subscribe, share, hit that thumbs up. Tell all your friends. Let's try to get to 1,000 as fast as we can. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right. As I titled the show, the Bengals signed another free agent. Now, I'm probably a little more excited about this than I probably should be, but the Bengals signed cornerback Eli Apple to a one-year deal. Now, the reason I'm excited about this, it's stacking of talent. What I've been saying, we don't have to rely on Sims being our fourth or fifth cornerback. Eli Apple's in there. Now, I know they posted that he might be our third cornerback. I don't see that happening, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, Apple, a 6-year player out of Ohio State, was a first-round pick in 2016 by the New York Giants. Now, Apple started 23 games for the Giants and 25 games for the Saints. Now, his first 4 years were pretty good. He amassed 197 solo tackles, 33 pass defense, and 3 INTs. Kind of hope the INTs are a little higher, but it's not terrible. In 2020, Apple signed a one-year deal with Carolina, but was injured and limited to only 2 games. Then the Panthers released him on October 27th, and he's been a free agent ever since. So that's a little, but with COVID and everything going on, and, it could have been a lot of variables and factors and all that stuff. Now, this is the Bengals connection. When Apple played for the Giants, Lou Armadillo, and I swear, Lou, I promise you, if you're watching my show, if you turn this defense around, I promise you I'll say your name right. I promise, but you gotta earn that, I think. So Armadillo was the secondary coach for the Giants when Apple played. Also, Apple played with Von Bell for the Saints. So there's another Bengal connection. So we got a lot of guys, a lot of former Saints, Hendrickson, Von Bell, Eli Apple. I mean, it's good chemistry going forward. They've already played with each other. They know what's going on. They know what's up. And with COVID and everything, it's, it's not going to be where they have to get to know everybody. They already know each other. So that's good. Now, this is kind of interesting. I know Jeremy D would like this. Apple becomes the 6th former Ohio State player on the current roster. All right, now this one I am actually even more excited about. The Bengals also re-signed Quinton Spain to a one-year deal. Now, I think Quinton is a lot better of a guard than he's, Pro Football Focus ranked him. I'll get that here in a minute. Now, this is how bad the Bengals O-line was last year. We all know it was terrible. But Quinton Spain was picked up, and the same week he was picked up, he played for the Cincinnati Bengals. That was in that Titans game. The Titans game, to me, was one of the most, I think, Zach Taylor games we're going to see. I think that, if you guys go back and watch that game, I think that game is how he wants the Bengals offense to run. It was very balanced. We ran a lot, threw the ball a lot, and we won. And against a very good team. I mean, the Titans were a playoff team. So, all right. Okay. Now Spain started the final 8 games for the Bengals. I'll get to the Pro Football ranking here. All right. That was to finish the season. Now, I finished the season with a 57.6 offensive grade. Now, this is from week 13 to 17. This is all from Pro Football Focus. But again, Spain never settled into one spot after switching teams in the middle of the season. So, to me, that shows how good he is. I'm not saying he's great. I'm saying he's good. And if you can get him in one spot, I think it's going to make a big difference. And if you remember, I think the games when they had Sergio and they had Spain at the guards we actually started running the ball up the middle. And that's what everybody's like, where was this running game before? Well, we had those two there. Now, Michael Jordan we all know, was the guard when Joe freaking Burrow got injured. But this right now, if they do nothing else, this is your starting offensive lineman. You got Johnny Williams at right, Spain at guard, Hopkins whenever he gets back. Hopefully he's back game 1. Center, Surfia at guard, and then Ryan Reef at your tackle. Now, the other thing is you got to look at it this way. Everybody keeps saying, okay, we got to get an offensive lineman. We got to draft Spain. We got to draft Sewell. There is a ton of offensive linemen in this draft. So let's look at it this way. Say we draft, like Mel Kiper says that the Bengals are going to draft Pitts. I want to draft either Pitts or Chase. I really would like Chase. But let's say they get one of those two and they don't get Sewell and they don't get Slater. You could still get a guy like Wyatt Davis probably in the second round or somebody as good. Now, he could be your starting guard. Now, if you only have one rookie starting on your offensive line, that's pretty good. Now, if the Bengals sign Eason, like the reports are that he's coming in for a visit, I'm not saying he's a starter. Again, just like Eli Apple, stacking of talent. So Trey Hopkins isn't ready for opening day. Well, then you have Eason and you have Price fight it out. Competition for that starting center job until Trey gets back. So I think the Bengals have put themselves in a very, very good position as they are not pigeonholed. They don't have to take an offensive lineman with the number 5 pick. I think Sewell, Slater, or Pitts, Sewell, Slater, Chase, or Pitts are going to be there at number 5, so they can take one of them. Now, the other thing is, let's say there's a run on all these quarterbacks, and one of these other teams behind the Bengals wants to get one of these quarterbacks, and they're like, oh, crap, we're not going to be able to get them because this team's going to take it before we get there. Hey, Bengals, what do you think about trading down to the number 13 pick and taking 2 second-round picks? All right, you take the best player available on the first with that number 1 pick. It might be Slater. It might not be. It might be somebody else. And then you could take with your 2 second-round picks, 2 offensive linemen. Or you just do it, Bill Kiper says, and you draft Pitts. Like I said, I always say Pitts or Chase. And then second, third round, you draft offensive linemen. There are so many options that the Bengals have right now. So this is what's getting me excited. I wanted to stack talent. That's what they're doing. No matter what you think of the talent, it's still talent. It's still better than what they had last year. The backups are. And then it's options. Anyway, long-winded beginning. Time to bring in my boy, Jeremy D.
What's going on, man?
Not much. What's your thoughts on all this stuff I just rambled on about?
Well, dude, when I first saw the Eli Apple thing, I wasn't read a bunch of different comments from obviously Buckeye fans. He wasn't exactly what he turned out to be. If I remember right, he was supposed to be a 5-star corner and just never really lived up to his ability. But when I've decided to go by your philosophy with him, and that is his talent, does he have a higher ceiling, I guess, in his talent than LaShawn Sims is who I'm guessing who he would be taking his spot. And I say, as almost a 40-year Buckeye fan, yes, he is better than LaShawn Sims. Now, my dad, he's probably watching this going nuts right now because he cannot stand him some Eli Apple. But he did have to agree that if he's taking over for LaShawn Sims, who was supposed to be a 5th, 6th really type guy till we got all these injuries. Alexander got hurt. Wayne's got hurt, all throughout the year. He does admit that we did get better talent at that position. I don't like that I read that the Bengals are thinking about making him a 3rd cornerback because that's a little tough. But
I don't see how they're going to do that. I mean, you got Travion Waynes, you've got Hilton, and you got Uzier, who they just signed. So I mean, I think maybe it's a battle between Awuzie and Eli to be that third corner. But again, I like competition. I think that's a good thing, and it usually brings out the best in guys.
Well,
either way, both of them are better than Sims.
Yo, they are for sure. So, but to talk about Awuzie, they've actually got him playing on the outside now. For WJ3, and
I don't know about.
I'm not thrilled about that.
Who's saying that? That's what I want. Where are you seeing that?
It was on Cincy Jungle, SI, one of those guys, because he's a little bigger, rangier corner. Mike Hilton's a smaller type slot type of corner, which is fine. So then you got Apple on the other side. I can see why they're saying 3, but I hope that's not the case, because what did we say before the show? We got Trey Waynes coming back.
Right. And we haven't even seen him play a game for the Bengals yet. So it's like another free agent we signed last year.
Exactly.
So it's another new player.
And a good one. And he should be a highly rated one next year, whether it's Awuzie beside him. Personally, I didn't realize that Mike Hilton was as small as he was, but hey, the guy plays the guy plays full bore. So
right,
whether it's Awuzie, if they think that his talent matches up to WJ3, or if they wanted to save some money there, bring him in as a whatever, put it towards something else, that's fine. Hey, look, I'm happy with it. I'm even happy with Apple. I just hope we don't have to see him play a whole lot this year.
Right. A couple people in the chat are asking, what about Turner? And some people say the reports on the Bengals haven't even contacted him, which I've heard that too. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, Turner was a six-time Pro Bowler. And then he had a really bad year. He had 2 teams give up on him. Now, that might have something to do with it. I don't even know if what the talks are with other teams. I haven't really heard any other teams going after him too. So there might be something to that. I don't know. This is just my opinion, me guessing, but they are supposed to have Easton for a visit. Now, that was from ESPN. And like I said, I'm less worried about the guard spot. We can get, no matter what we do at 5, we can get a starting guard in the second round. I mean, that's where I'm less worried about the offensive line. And the thing is, if you can do that, okay, let's just say it this way. Let's say they do draft Sewell or Slater. They draft one of those guys and they put them at tackle. You can kick Reef in the guard, or you can kick those guys in guard and Reef at tackle for a year or so. Again, it's options of what the Bengals have and what they can do. And they're so flexible. And who knows, if somebody comes up and offers us 2 second-round picks and we drop down to 10, I mean, you can go get 2 offensive linemen in the second round, or you can get one in the first and with the second or your first second-round pick. I mean, it's exactly what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to have options. I wanted them to stack talent, and they're doing it. So you can always nitpick at who they did and what they did. I mean, everybody can always nitpick. But for God's sake, it's the freaking Cincinnati Bengals. When have we ever had this much conversation about what the Bengals did in free agency and what they can do in the draft? It's usually, well, we got to draft this guy. If he's not there, I don't know what we're going to do. How many times did we go through that?
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is you can talk about, Trey Hendrickson. We got a pass rusher. Mike Hilton, we got a good slot guy. Awuzie, whether he's on the other side of Trey, I don't know. We'll find out. That's just
competition will determine that, I think.
Exactly. Ogunjobi, another good run stuffer, can get to the cornerback. Reef, offensive tackle. We've re-signed one of the best punters in the league, in my opinion. Huber,
former Bearcat, by the way, sir.
There you go. Our snapper, that don't seem like a lot, but let me tell you something. A good snapper in the playoffs when it's cold is important. Spain, Brandon Wilson. Okay, so this is the way I look at it. The Bengals can be looking at it one way or the other. We can get a second guard in the second round and take Chase, or Pitts. I'm a Chase guy, but Pitt, they're both going to be phenomenal, I think.
Yeah.
We can go into the draft saying, you know what? No, we have weapons. We've got, we've got Higgins. We've got Boyd. We've got Uzomah.
Uzomah. And I think he's underrated too. I'm not saying he's a Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts is going to be a beast.
Oh.
Now, just to let everybody know, I had a couple people ask in the chat if I was going to allow live video chat. So I had enough of you ask, so I decided to let some live video chats happen. So it's in the live chat. So there's the link. So if you guys want to join, hopefully you know what we're talking about. We're not having just a rare conversation. Bring it. Bring Bengals conversation. Have something good to bring to the show, please.
Yeah, there you go. And you can see it all over there, right there. Cincinnati Sports, Strawberry Ice. Click on it. Come join. But you know what? And I also look at it this way. The Bengals could be saying, like I said, no, we got enough talent. We got Uzomah. We've got Higgins. We've got Boyd. We've got Tate. We've got Sample. We've got Gio. We got Mixon. These guys can catch out of the backfield. And maybe we're going to take Sewell or Slater in the first and then take another pass rusher in the second. You never know. Maybe they're going to take 2 linemen, 1 and 2. I don't know, but it's options, and that's what's important. We're not stuck.
I'm like when free agency first started, they weren't signing any offensive guys. I'm like, well, I guess that tells you they're going to sign, offense, drafted in the draft of the offensive line. Now, since they got Reef and they re-signed Spain, and if they get Easton, I think it's going to be Pitts or Chase, and either one is going to be fine because Kyle Pitts will be a nightmare, a matchup nightmare. You put him at tight end, I think it's going to be good. What's up, TC?
What's up, TC? You want Chase though, don't you, bro? You want Chase. You want Chase playing with Burrow next year.
I do. I definitely do. But okay, let me say something. I agree. I kind of agree with you, but I honestly kind of disagree.
Okay.
My point. I as bad as I want Jamar Chase or even Kyle Pitts, I would definitely. I know he signed some money, but I want to make sure he's protected 110%. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen if you draft Sewell or Slater because we've drafted guys with number 1 picks and it hasn't worked out. So I'd rather have right now proven guys that can do it. Spain's proven he can do it. Riddle or Reef has proven he can do it. So I'll take that, and I would rather have a guy behind them learning how to do it from these guys and then plug them in. Because we were talking about having a potential of 2 rookies on the offensive line. Right now, we're probably talking 1, and it might be a guard, which you can easily get a guard in the second round. Easy. This guard is full. This draft is full of them. So and then if you draft another tackle or somebody down the line, they can learn from the guys we have. So I agree with you, but I'm not sold on having 2 rookies. And just because they're the number 1 pick and blah, 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 that they're going to, be that good. I don't know, but I know the guys we have. I know Spain and I know Reef are going to be good,
True. You know what? And Thomas, I know you're probably a lot like us though. When it comes down to it, you watched the Bengals this year. You saw what happened to Burrow. If anybody in podcasting Cincinnati universe biatched about the offensive line, it was us. Could not stand it.
Yeah.
So I can see where you're coming from. If we end up not taking anybody else other than Riley Reef, that will be our only free agent. I could see us maybe still making a move for somebody in the first. I want it to be Chase. Don't get me wrong. But I just don't want – I want to let you know, too, I know what you're thinking because some of those games were embarrassing the way he got hit. And to change one guy on the line is tough to think about. But think about the second round.
But when Spain was in there, that middle got solidified. It wasn't coming when they had Spain and they had Surfield in there. It wasn't coming up the middle. If you look, when we had that, is when Michael Jordan was in there, and we had Bobby Hart in there, Fun Bobby. That's where the pressure was. And honestly, to be honest, most of the pressure was coming up the middle. But when they put Spain and Serafia, it wasn't as bad. I mean, it still wasn't great, but it still wasn't bad. So as I'm saying, you get Reed, and hell, if you get Davis,
that's what I was getting at. Right? Yeah, that's where I was going. You can look at it that way, and I understand completely why you would, bro. But if we could get somebody, a game changer like Chase, Pitts, whatever, like I said, I like Pitts too. I want to see him throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Or to Chase. I want to see him throwing the ball to Chase too. But even though we only have one free agent, we've got a second round where we're going to get almost a guaranteed guard, man. And if you can do that, we're good to go.
Yeah, and like Jen says here, and we didn't have Frank Pog last year either, so remember that. I think we have a better offensive line coach than we did before.
I hope so. Yep.
So there are a lot of people talking about what I guess Armadillo didn't know that they released Bobby Hart today. I didn't get to see Lou's press conference, so I know Crip said something about that. So
they don't tell him nothing.
All right, Rob says, I've been waiting in a position like that, and people were like, what the are you even doing your job? And I was like, yeah, I'm 16 hours. I don't even know what he's talking about. Never mind. This is a conversation that he's having in the chat with somebody else.
Oh,
the chat is blowing up, and I'm clicking on one, and that wasn't the one I meant to click on. And I'm like, I'll just read it. Oh, wait, never mind. Okay. Okay, Martin. What happened to Joe was a freak. We were backed up in our end zone. Hart is gone, and he was a liability. We're better already. Yeah, and the thing is, though, the pressure on that when he got injured didn't come from Bobby Hart. No matter how much I make fun of Fun Bobby and I play the video all the time, it didn't come from his side of the ball. It came from the air, came from up the middle. So, yeah,
Fun Bobby.
So I'm good with the options that they have. I'm good with what they're doing. I still don't think they're done yet. I still think I said Easton, and who knows, maybe they're going to get Turner. I don't know, but I'm very happy with Spain. I think Spain's going to be better than what he showed last year. And what he showed last year was pretty good. And the thing I like about Spain the most is, like I said, week one that we got him, he started. Or not started. He didn't start. He played. And they played every game after that, but it was always in a different, position. It wasn't always the same. So that's the thing, too. I don't want to play musical chairs with the offensive line again this year. If you can have the same five guys for 90% of the season, that's good. And then somebody's going to get hurt. So that's why I want the stacking of talent. That's why I like to have Easton. That's why, no matter what we think about Billy Price is okay. The backup. Fred Johnson's okay as a back. They're okay as backups for 1 or 2 games. I'm not saying you rely on them the entire game, but I want them as backups. We had them starting. Now, I know if somebody gets injured, they're going to start, but, that's still better than, last year we were thinking, I did a whole bunch of stories on Fred Johnson. Maybe he's a diamond in the rough. Maybe he'll be the left guard that right tackle that we all wanted. Well, we all saw how that went. I mean, he actually played better at tackle than he did at guard. He's horrible at guard. Yeah. So right now, I think if we started the season today and there's no draft, we know who the starting 5 are. And that's a good thing. And I think they're better than the starting 5 we had at the beginning of last year. No, they're not great, but it's better and it's improvement. That's what we have to do. And Mel Kiper and I can't remember the other guy who's a quarterback on ESPN. They're going back and forth. He's pounding the desk. You got to protect Joe Burrow. I completely agree with him.
We've wasted a free agency.
Yeah. But the thing is, in the draft, you can. That's it doesn't have, if you don't get Sewell or Slater, there are a lot of other guys that they can get. And the other thing too is this switches to the defensive line because we both would like them to get an edge or another interior defensive lineman. The Bengals are really good at finding defensive pass rushers later in rounds. Geno Atkins, Carlos Dunlap, Michael Jordan, all these guys they've found, Carl Lawson, all these guys that they've drafted are not number 1 picks. They're 2nd, 3rd, 4th round picks. They're really good at this. So they could still get another edge or a pass rusher or somebody in the draft. They're very good at finding these guys. They have a track record of it.
Yeah. You know what? And I agree almost 100%. Personally, I would like to get Trey Turner. I mean, who wouldn't want to get a 5-time Pro Bowler who's had one bad year? But with us taking Spain, I still hope that we'll go after him. But with all the reports saying the Bengals aren't even talking to him, that worries me a little bit, and that tells me maybe Easton, another backup-ish type of guard.
Well, if Turner comes here, he's not going to. I don't think he's coming here to be a backup. You know,
no,
that's kind of. I think Spain is one of your starting guards. So Ophelia, you know, if you sign Turner, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just kind of talking it out loud here. Why they might not be doing it? They might because of Wyatt. If we get Wyatt Davis in the second round,
that's exactly what I was saying. I was agreeing with you. I don't see the reason why there hasn't been reports of the Bengals talking to Trey Turner right now is because, you know, we can do Trey Day all day and all this.
All day, every day.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's going to it's a higher contract. The Bengals haven't spoken to him so far, what anybody's heard. And when you've got Wyatt Davis, a younger, very talented guard, sitting there at number 5 in the second round, or if he's gone, another just as strong guard, why would you go out and spend a bunch of money on a free agent who's been around, 7-8 years, something like that, when you can literally plug and play a couple guys in the second round and you can still get the Chase that you want or the Pitts?
The thing is, and a lot of James Rapine has said this, and Zim Hude has said this too. You get Chase or you get Kyle Pitts, that's a game changer for 5 years. I mean, it's a bigger game changer than it is a guard or a tackle. Now, I know, well, what if Joe Burrow gets hurt? Again, we could address that in the second round, and we've already addressed the right tackle. And like Anthony said here, there's going to be a lot of battles going on for the O-line in camp, that's great. I want battles. I want these guys to be hungry and have to fight for their position, fight for their job, you know?
Damn right.
Competition brings out the best of people. Either breaks you or brings out the best. So Rob asked, he's asking which way Turner and Spain played, left guard or right guard. Honestly, I don't remember. I think in my head,
Turner
for the guy we're talking about getting, Trey Turner.
Oh, Trey Turner.
Yeah, Trey Turner. Now I think Spain played. Looking at my head, I think Spain played left.
Left guard.
Left, and Sir Fielder's right. I think
that's
now Turner. I'm not sure. I have not. I should have wrote that down, but I don't have it written down, so I don't know.
I don't think it's going to matter because we're like we were saying, we're talking about guards, and man, we can slam a killer guard in the second round, even with just signing Riley Reef for free agency and bringing back Spain. You get second rounder, you're going to get a solid guard, and really your tackles are your positions. And right now, we've solidified our tackles as long as we can stay healthy. And to answer the other question, well, what if Burrow goes down? If Burrow goes down, it is we got Brandon Allen. That's your answer.
The thing is, everybody worry about Burrow going down. I mean, look, Carson Palmer went down, and we had a damn good offensive line then. It can happen if you have a great offensive line. I mean, Joe Theismann broke his freaking leg, and he played behind the Hogs. So, I mean, everybody's been, well, what happens to Joe? It's football.
Yeah, it's
he
Brandon Allen.
What it is. It's not Brandon Allen. It's football. I mean, he can get hurt. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, you can get all the offensive line. You get the greatest offensive line in the world, and your quarterback can still get hurt. So that's what. Just because I just want to put it out there, just because we don't go out and spend all this money on offensive line, oh God, that means Joe Burrow's going to get hurt. No, it doesn't. You can have the greatest offensive line in the world, and the quarterback still gets hurt. I mean, Andy Dalton hurt his thumb tackling a Steeler because he threw Squealer because he threw an interception. So again,
right?
No, it can happen.
Yeah, dude, I'm agreeing with you. I completely.
I know. I'm like, you're just like, we got
No,
Brandon out. I'm like, yeah,
I was just saying, Brent.
Look, if Joe Burrow's gone,
when
our
he
season's
asked,
done. Our season's done. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he asked that question, what happens if Burrow gets hurt? Well, your answer is Brandon Allen. I mean, I just don't know what else to tell him. Don't have nothing to do with it.
Well, I won't say your season's over. I mean, I actually think Brandon Allen played pretty good, as far as backup quarterback, but he's still a backup quarterback. No matter what quarter. And I know people have taken their backup quarterbacks and they went to the Super Bowl. I know that's happened. It's happened, I think, twice. In all the years that this happened. Most of the time, you lose your starting quarterback, your season is over. Most of the time. So I'm not trying to downgrade what we should do with the offensive line. I'm saying they are doing it, and they just may not be doing it the way everybody wants them to. But to me, I'm happy with it.
Hey, the guy in the middle of our screen right now is the guy that's going to take us to the Super Bowl. If that guy was Brandon Allen, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen, but hopefully we're not going to go down that route again.
All right, let's say we signed Jameis Winston. I mean, doesn't mean it would happen with him either. I mean,
no,
the Raiders, their quarterback go down, and Marcus Mariota was the quarterback. What they do? Nothing. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. People keep bringing it back. Well, we got Brandon Allen. I'm like, that doesn't matter. I mean, not really. I mean, it does, but as big as people are making this out to be to get Brandon Allen, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, Brandon Allen honestly could play just as good as Jameis Winston will or Marcus Mariota did, when they played in. He could. So, anyway. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying we're going to be much improved on the offensive line. If it happens to be Brandon Allen, it's going to be. But that most likely would mean if another significant injury happened to Burrow, which I'm not even going to talk into existence, we would be in serious trouble. We'd be looking for another quarterback. We'd be starting over fresh. We don't want to go there. Burrow's going to be back. Our defense is going to be better. Our offensive line is already improved, and we're going to keep improving it through the draft. And once we do that, we're going to take this baby all the way to Trophy Land
soon. Now, Martin says, what about the D? They've done almost everything. All their free agents have been defense, but okay. We need to get to the quarterback in our league. Stop the run. Geno's gone. Loss is gone. We look weaker. Okay. We got Hendrickson. We got Obenjobi. We replaced the two guys you just talked about. I just said the Bengals are very, very good at finding diamonds in the rough in the third and fourth round. That's where we got Geno. That's where we got Carlos. That's where we got these guys. There's still potential. So, I mean, what about the D? All of their free agents they signed have been on the defensive side of the ball. And they've signed more guys than they did last year.
2 years.
For less money for the two guys that we lost. So I'm not sure. I mean, I understand you say we want to. I guess you want to get an edge rusher and everything. They're not done yet. I mean, so I'm not sure. You sound like you're upset about it. Don't exactly understand what you're upset about because we still got the draft. Free agency still isn't over. Hell, we can sign guys up till June.
And guys,
the thing is, they're going to cut people too. All this money they're throwing around, some of these teams are going to have to cut guys. So there's still going to be options.
And guys, check this out. Trey Wayne's, knock on wood, he's going to be completely healthy. We're going to have a solid corner over there. DJ Reader, knock on wood, healthy. All these guys we brought in, knock on wood, healthy. Another pass rusher, I can see what you're saying, but I'm also with Jeff. We've had better luck with pass rushers
way better.
From the third to sixth round than
we drafted a Hall of Famer, Geno.
Yeah,
I think he's a third round pick. I think he's at least second round pick.
I can see where he's coming from, wanting one more pass rusher.
But he acted like his question acted like they didn't do anything. Or we're not any better. I'm like, we just signed 3 different cornerbacks.
Exactly.
I mean, we're better. I mean, we got a younger guy in Obenjobi than Geno, and who knows? I mean, I'm still kind of holding out hope that Geno might come back and sign with anybody.
Yeah.
So what if they still got Mike Daniels out there that they'll probably sign?
Josh Bynes.
Yeah, Josh Bynes is still out there. So I mean, there's still guys out there. So it ain't over yet. I mean, just because the first week of free agency passed doesn't mean it's over. It's far from over.
Yeah, exactly. And what did Zim say? I think it was Zim anyway that brought up Akeem Gaither Davis and said that he can be used in a serious blitz role, getting after the quarterback type of role that they have not been using him in, but that he can do very well. Mm-hmm. If I got it right, one of them said that, one of our guests. And you know what? That's another thing that's true. We've got guys that are good. We've got talented guys that can get to the quarterback. Are we going to get there with Lou? Is Lou going to come up with the right plays? We'll find out.
That's what I'm more worried about than the players we're getting. What's Armadillo going to do? Now, Jen, who's always a positive poster, especially on Who Day Nation, she does a great job there. So everybody always, if you're not on Who Day Nation, please go there and join that Facebook group. There are awesome people on that group. But she says, no, I know people were wondering how Joe's doing. He looked fit last night at the NCAA basketball tournament with his dad. I think Joe is doing just fine, and he'll be back week 1. I agree with you, Jen, completely. Where was I? Oh, yeah, here it is.
I pray so. I think so too.
Now, somebody else said, Dave said, quit talking about the quarterback injury. That's that guy right there. He keeps talking about it, not me.
You jinxed the young man. No, I ain't jinxed. I didn't jinx anybody. That was just calling it as I saw it last year. A guy in his, I don't care if he's 18. You get hit like that, bad things are going to happen. But
says,
we're good. We're good this year. We're doing things the right way this year. I think.
He says, not to upset you, we haven't adjusted both sides of the line, and we did address secondary. Well, we did address. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I feel you. I know you want to do more, but they did address the defensive line. They got Hendricks. They got Ogunjobi. I mean, they have. Now, I mean, I still think there's more to come, and I think they can find them in the draft. Like, let's see here. Yeah, Gino. Rob says Gino was a 4th round pick.
There you go.
I mean, you can find a guy like Geno Atkins in the 4th round. We're gonna be fine. We'll be just fine. So,
I think Dunlap was like 6th, wasn't he, or something like that?
He wasn't a very high one either.
No.
He says he's worried about the linebacking core development. I'm actually, again, we addressed that last year. I really like Logan Wilson. I like Davis Gaither. They're rookies. I like how they came on. Now Logan got injured like everybody else, all the other Bengals did. And we signed Josh Bynes back. He played really well toward the end. So I'm not.
He's a keeper.
Yeah, I'm okay with the linebacking. I always want them to stack talent. I always do. But they addressed it big time last year. If you spend your 3rd and your 4th round pick on linebackers, and they both started most of the games last year, that's going to help them get better. And Logan Wilson, I think he's going to be really good. I was, when they first drafted, I'm like, who? Yeah, out of Wyoming, like, okay. But then I really like the way he played, and I think he's going to develop into a really good, solid linebacker. Same with Davis Gaither, and then we still got the 6th rounder. What was his name that we drafted last year? The linebacker, the other linebacker we drafted.
Gaither.
No, Davis Gaither.
Bailey.
Bailey, yes, Bailey. Yeah, we still got him. He looked pretty good. So,
who's to say we don't take another one in the 5th round?
Right? Who knows? So I mean, it's just I'm okay with the linebacking core with where it is now. I always want to stack talent. I always want to get better. We'll see what happens.
That's right.
All right, let's see here. By the way, chat is blowing up. I'm trying to get to all your questions, guys, but it's blowing up here. Keith, Sam Hubbard played injured last year, but have no doubt that the man can pile up the sacks with Hendrickson. That's what I'm saying, and that's where I think Sam is going to be. He's got a chance to be really good. I don't know. A chance. I'm not completely sold he's going to be really good, but he has a chance to do it. And again, he got injured just like everybody else did. Now, if they can find somebody to be that 3rd guy, to get that rotation going, that's what we had. And then you get Ogunjobi and Reeder and maybe Mike Daniels coming up the middle, or taking those double teams and the guys coming around the edge. get a pressure on the quarterback. That makes the secondary better. It makes everything better. So I'm happy with what they've done, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, same here. And I'm with you on Sam Hubbard. I mean, I watched him every game at Ohio State. I don't know if the guy is ever going to be a Chase Young, Joey Bosa, but let me tell you something. The kid has a motor, man, and you put a high motor next to other high motors, even if they're not the most talented guys in the world, that is a huge difference on your defensive line. When them guys just come rushing, shooting up, throwing a swing move or whatever and coming after that quarterback, it doesn't matter what name is on the back of their jersey. If they're playing full bore, we're going to be all right. And I feel good about the defensive line. And like you said, to see what we do from here on forward.
Right. Now, Rob says, yes, Strawberry Darius Phillips was pissed about all the cornerback signing. Check his Twitter. I did see his Twitter. He posted a video of LeBron James leaving the podium, put his sunglasses on and take it off when LeBron James was wearing the suit with the shorts. So Darius Phillips is not happy with all the cornerbacks that they've signed. But I don't think they're necessarily going to cut him. I think it's Sims they're going to get rid of.
Yeah, I was going to say he's still under contract. So, bro.
Yeah, so the thing is, I'm happy. Again, competition. That breeds championships.
Go against Apple. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Yep. Show what you got.
Right. Mike is asking here, is Daniel signed? I said, not yet, but I mean, we're talking about this yesterday that I don't know, because we're talking about Trey Turner and Eason. I said, well, maybe they're gonna wait on Spain because they want to find out they can get Turner. Maybe they don't want Turner. I mean, because it's reports are they're not even calling him. So there's some reason they're not calling him. I really like Spain. So I guess to answer your question is no, they haven't signed Mike Daniels. I think it could happen here in the next couple of days because they just signed Spain. So they might be going, okay, we might get Easton. We're not going to go after Turner, so we're going to start spending the money on the guys that we know. Like I'm hoping they'll bring Daniels back. They'll bring the linebacker. We just talked about him.
Bynes.
Thank you. Bring him back because the thing is, I wanted the Bengals to keep the talent we had. Now we lost Willie J3, we lost Lawson, but we replaced them with guys, in my opinion, are just as good or has the potential to be just as good. And the thing is, with Willie J3, we got 3 of them for almost the price of him.
I get a question for you. Just well, it ain't between us; it's between all of you guys. And if you want to answer it, please do. But Jeff, when we started free agency, and we could have tagged either WJ3 or Lawson, and we didn't. Did you pretty much get the feeling then that we weren't going to sign?
No, I honestly, I thought they were going to. Well, I don't know about Willie J3, but Lawson, I thought they were going to sign, especially after he did that podcast with The Athletic, where he kept talking about we got to protect number 9. We got to do this. So I thought they were going to sign Lawson, but like Lawson also said in that podcast, you throw a bag of money at me, I'll put my coat on and I'll go play in the snow. So, they paid him more money than the Bengals were willing to pay him. And they got Hendrickson, who had more sacks. I mean, it's a fact. He had 13 and a half. So
I'm not unhappy.
No, I'm not saying you are. So I'm not. I'll put it this way. The first 24 hours, I was freaking out. I was trying not to freak out as much as all the Bengals fans were, especially when Tooney left. They was, oh my goodness. And I kept telling people, I'm like, they might not get Tooney. I'm like, and if you don't get Tooney, it's not going to be the end of the world. Right. And it's not going to be the end of the world if we don't get him, because like I keep saying, there's so many guys in the draft and there's other options. Zeitler would have been nice, but they didn't get him either. So, I mean, but the thing is, once those 2 are off the board, those are like the best 2 guards in there. And the thing is, and everybody needs to not sleep on Spain. I'm not trying to overemphasize this, but I really like Spain. I'm not saying he's better than either one of those guys, but the potential is there, and he's played pretty good. To be able to play as good as he did the first week we brought him here. And you remember the Titan game, right? I think that was the most complete game the Bengals played all year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because last time the Titans, we played them here, we whooped them, and I had a good feeling, again, we were going to beat them again at home.
So, yeah. So, that to me, I like all Bengals fans, if you record the game or anything, go back to the Titans game.
Yeah.
I really do think that is the kind of offense and defense. I mean, Armadillo's defense actually played pretty good because that game really wasn't ever in doubt. We actually won that from start to finish. And that was when Spain came in. They switched it, in the middle of the game. So that's where I think it's a bigger deal that they signed Spain than people are giving him credit for. Just my opinion.
Yeah, it gets to me. I reading some of these comments on some of these groups, people saying, the real injury came from Jonah Williams, the left side, Spain. So why are you guys so thrilled? And I just don't see it that way when I look at the play. Just guys falling over, they're falling down at people's knees. It kills me to hear that. That was Jonah Williams and Quinton Spain, whoever was our left guard at that time. Maybe he wasn't.
It was Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. There you go. The left side. Yeah, I might could blame it on Michael Jordan a little bit just because I'm glad
he's not starting. That's where it came from. That's where the hit came from. Yeah.
I'm just glad he's not.
He was the one laying on his back. Ran him over.
Not going to be there anymore.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I think Michael Jordan has a chance to develop. He's a young guy, and he's working out with one of the greatest right tackle in Bengals history in Willie Anderson.
Really? So I'm saying as a starting guy next year, he's not
going to start. But that's what I'm saying. I want to keep him stacking of talent because maybe he gets better. Maybe he is a guy that could develop into that. And the thing is, too, another point I'll put is if they just say they draft Wyatt Davis, they drafted a guy named Andrew Whitworth, and he played guard for how many years? And then he moved to left tackle. Mm-hmm. So if you could draft a really good guard in the second round, who knows? Maybe he can eventually move to right tackle.
That's true.
It can happen. I mean, these are options.
Yeah, and Wyatt Davis is actually known for his footwork, his power, his balance. He is the type of guy that could move over there. I mean, to be honest.
Yeah. Keith's got a good point here. He said Armadillo pretty much said that the difference in Carl Lawson, and Trey Hendricks is that Hendrickson is a finisher, completing the sack with pressure, and he's better against the rush. That was my biggest issue with Lawson. I love Lawson. I wanted, if we kept him, we had to get another edge because Lawson, and I've said this, I don't know how many times, I still have this image in my head with his arms wrapped around the ankles of Ben Roethlisberger, and Ben Roethlisberger just flipping a touchdown right in there. Hendrickson gets him down. Lawson creates sacks, but doesn't necessarily convert sacks. So I think I think we upgraded because and there's nothing against Lawson. I wanted Lawson back. I think Lawson is on the verge of having a great year, just like Shaq Barrett. If the Bengals wouldn't have screwed up and not signed him, I mean, he was an okay free agent. It wasn't Shaq Barrett like it is now. Back when the Bengals were trying to sign him. So they knew what they were talking about. The doctors screwed up and told him not to sign him, and then they went to Tampa Bay and balled out. That's where I think Lawson is at. That's the same point I think Hendrickson's is at. So,
and here's where I'm at on that, Keith, and Jeff too. Really, I don't know how you guys may feel about this, but a little bit of different scenery for Lawson may do very well because we had him playing off the line a lot. And when you play off the line and you're running full speed towards the quarterback, even if you make a move on a defender or whatever, you're still going at pretty good speed. And he would get there, and it would be the whip around effect is what I call it. He grab a hold of it and try to, and he just bounce right off of him, or he would get there and he would start stumbling, falling on his knees, grab his leg, whatever, a guy throw another touchdown, whatever. I feel like maybe if he had a chance to play on the line a little bit more, he would have had. I'm not saying he'd had a ton of sacks, but maybe more than 5.5. Because I feel like if you're closer to the quarterback and you get there while he's kind of in this mode, in between everybody, you can just grab him, take him down. With Lawson, it seemed like he was running around that edge so fast that you just can't. You know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah, you can't tackle him. You whip, like you said, you whip past him. Yeah, and that's kind of where
it's
I
almost
like,
impossible.
Yeah, like when he's hanging on to his legs. I mean, he's hanging on to his leg, and it didn't do anything for Ben. Ben, you got to hit him. You got to hit that dude.
You got to.
Ankle biter is going to get him down, unfortunately, and he's a squealer, and I can't stand him. But anyway, Jennifer, we also have Zama coming back. Love him. DJ Reader will be back too. Can't wait. Our guys will be back healthy. Exactly. And that's another thing. I want Chase, but if they take Pitts, I'm not gonna be upset with it. I'm not. I won't be upset with it, because if Pitts is as good as people say he is, I mean, Travis Kelce is killing people at tight end. Gronkowski is killing people at tight end. Uzama is good. I don't know if he's that good. I hope he is. But it'd be awesome to have a tight end to kill someone. But it would also be nice to have a wide receiver to open the top up that has already played with Joe freaking Burrow and destroyed the SEC. And I can't stand the SEC, but I have to give them props. They do have a lot of NFL talent, and Joe freaking Burrow and Chase killed them. So,
yeah, that's true. And you know what? Different body type for Pitts, definitely. Than when you start talking about Kelce. But
the other thing too is Pitts. You can split him out wide. You can start him at tight end, and you can split him out.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the matchup nightmare right there, because you're like, crap, he's going out there. Okay.
With him, you can move him around. Is he going to block the best at tight end? I don't know. I do know that Chase can take 1 yard just about any time. So I don't see us having a bad pick between Pitts or Chase.
Now, one thing I'll say about Pitts, and one of my guys at work, he's one of the Kentucky bros, they call him, but he's a big SEC fan. He's a Florida fan. He goes, everybody keeps talking about, can Pitts block? Lord. Can Pitts block? He said the year before, he would have been in the running for the tight end of the year award or whatever, but he wasn't, because he didn't have enough catches, because he's always in there blocking. So he said, I mean, and I honestly, I trust this guy. He watches Florida all the time, and he said he's a really good blocker. So he said that's not going to be an issue. So if he can block and he can catch, like I said, I want Chase. I'll keep saying that I want Chase, but if we get Pitts, I'm not going to be upset. I'm just not. It's going to be good.
To be honest with you, I'm just going. I don't know anything on the inside with Pitts. I don't know anything about Pitts other than watching him on TV, and I'm literally going by what I hear.
The game I saw,
Gary Danielson.
The game I saw, he was a beast. So
trust me, I've seen about 4 of them. But anyway, all I've heard is what I'm saying is from Gary Danielson, those type of guys saying that they're the ones that said it, and that's what I'm repeating.
Right.
And you can go back and find it that, he's kind of an in-betweener. He's not exactly the big tight end that's going to throw down, and go. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm literally going by watching him, which he is a beast when you watch him, but then the commentators. Other than that, I have no – I'd love to hear more about it.
I'm kind of going – I wasn't a big – I mean, I like Pitts. I wasn't like, oh, yeah, we definitely got to get him, but – the more I hear about him, the more stuff I read about him, I'm okay if they take him. I mean, like I said, again, I repeat it, I want Chase, but if they get him, it's fine. And I like Bengal Kyle 513 here says, Chiefs and Raiders 1,000,000% would have drafted both Kelce and Waller in the top 5 if they had to do it now and look back. Yeah, because you didn't know they were going to be that good then. Exactly. So, I mean, Travis Kelce is a Bearcat. I mean, he was good, but he's nowhere close to what he is in the NFL. No. And that's another thing where I'm saying Sewell, Slater are slotted to be the top 2 best tackles. There's other guys in the second round that could be just as good, and you don't know about them. So
that's exactly right.
He says, I think Keith's a big Pitts guy. He says Keith may be another Antonio Gates, which Antonio Gates, he was a pretty darn good tight end. So
that's some big.
How many? I have a question for everybody watching. Are you gonna be that mad if they drafted Chase over Pitts? I mean, is it really good? I mean, is it gonna be that? Are you gonna be ticked off? I'm not. Either way, we're getting a great offensive weapon for the next 5 years. You're either getting a tight end that's a matchup nightmare, or you're getting a wide receiver who can do what we've all been talking about, open the top of the defense, which could open up more underneath for Zama. So I'm not going to be upset either way. I think they're in a great position with what they've done and what's still out there.
Yep. And what I would like to see is Chase's pro day and Pitts' pro day. Maybe give us a little bit more of we got some Pitt stuff running the 40. That was on his
Instagram.
Yeah, his buddies, and he had, whatever. That don't mean jack squat. Once they get,
it's not official.
Yeah, exactly. Once they get the NFL boys there and they get them down, I would like to see Chase work out, since I haven't got to watch him in a year, and Pitts as well too. So I'd like to see them both again, but I don't think you can go wrong with any of these guys. And you know what? If we take the guy that's a little bit less, that's fine too. If we take the guy that's just the perfect one, that's awesome too. But I think both of them are going to be great players for sure. And I love Chase.
Now, Jen, I'll bring your question back up here. Jen was saying, when talking about the first pick, we know who we want. What are you guys looking for in the rest of the rounds? Well, second round, I mean, I've said it. I think second round, if you go Chase or you go Pitts first round, second round's got to be a lineman. And I'm hoping it's Wyatt Davis or Leatherwood or somebody like that. There's going to be that, and there's pop. And then I would really like it. Well, okay, me, since I'm not a draft expert or anything, I'm just a fan. Second or third round, you're either going to another offensive lineman or they find that defensive edge that they're really good at. So let's look at it this way. Just say you get Chase or you get Pitts, and just say Wyatt Davis there at second round. Third round, you get that edge. So you fixed your guard, you fixed another weapon, and you fixed another edge in your first 3 picks. That's pretty good. And I think there's a very good chance that could happen. Just my opinion.
You know what? I'm right there with you. Where we're at right now, I mean, was that the question? What
will we do in the second round? Second, third, fourth round? That's what she wants to know. What do you think they would do?
With free agency the way it is, I'm guessing.
Well, just in the draft in general, what would they do? What do you think they'll do in the second, third round?
That makes it a little tougher, but you know what? I would still say, the Bengals are going to get a lineman in free agency. I think they're going to get one, even if it's a backup. Who was it? James that called Chase a once in a generation player.
It was
maybe
either
I don't
him
want
or it was Zim. We've had so many different guests on here later.
I don't want to misspeak for somebody at all.
Yeah, but one of them said it. I don't remember.
A complete guess.
Yeah.
So
somebody that was on our show here recently said this. We'll put it that way.
Okay, yeah. And if you didn't say it, I'm sorry, James, Zim, whatever. But one of you guys. But anyway, you know what? How can you not take a next generation talent when you have a next generation quarterback? So, of course, for my own draft, I would take Chase. I would take Wyatt Davis if he's there. If he's not, I would take Leatherwood out of Alabama. He's tough, great guard. Ain't going to get any better than those 2 guys. Third, I would definitely look at pass rusher, see what we have, what's out there. If there's a guy that should have been a early second, mid second, or a late first, mid No, wait. No, we're at second. Yeah, I'm at second. Okay, my bad. I forgot what I was at. I've already picked second. I've already picked second.
You already picked second. You're third round.
Okay, now I'm going. If you find you a guy that is a second rounder, he makes it to you to the third, and he's a great pass rusher. I say take the pass rusher. We've taken care of cornerbacks, and then from there, maybe the fourth pick, maybe go linebacker again, since we do have young linebackers, and you can never have enough.
All right. Now, Keith brings up another. This question actually triggers something in me, but I'm going to read it here real quick. I'm all for drafting Chase or Waddle because all it would take to ruin our season is if Boyd or Higgins gets hurt. Yes. Now, question for you. All right. Let's say that, I was kind of thinking about, okay, if we draft down, we trade out of the top 5. We go down to, say, 10 or so, and we get 2 first-round picks. Chase is gone. Pitts is gone. Waddle's there. Exactly. And I think Waddle is just as good as those guys. People forget about him. Hey, your dog came to visit. So that's buddy. An option too. So if you get Waddle there, go ahead. You can go.
Okay.
You get Waddle there. That's could be the game changer too. So again, it's options that they have, and if you can trade down and you get 2 second-round picks, you can get 2 offensive linemen in the second round, or you get offensive linemen and an edge rusher in the second round, or again, it's so many options. It's to me, I'm starting to geek out on it. Just think of all the different possibilities.
I am too. I've got high blood pressure over this. Honestly, I don't. Everybody wants to know. I don't know what to tell you until it's done.
It's just fun to talk about it. It's just I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. I just like telling you how many different options of what they can do.
I mean,
man.
It's
awesome.
It's a blast, but it'll get your mind going crazy. Like, wait, we didn't take this guy. Why didn't we take this guy? Because we're going to need a guy to do this.
The thing is, I'm not stressing out about it. I'm like, this is cool. This is what I would have stressed out more if they hadn't done stuff in free agency. Now, Crip says it was the brain John Sheeran who said he was a generational player.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So
that was
heard that yesterday. No, that was yesterday.
Or yesterday. My bad.
You need to get some sleep.
You think?
He's got too much stuff on his brain right now. And Jennifer said that Duke Tobin was in Alabama today. So again, they could be checking out Waddle or
Leatherwood.
Or the other wide receiver,
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, Devontae Smith. Again,
Najee Harris.
So many options.
Najee Harris. Come on. I mean, I can name.
Good. I mean,
it's crazy, and it's a blast. It is fun, but it will make you crazy. Going, okay, we did this. So our next move is got to be this.
And what about? I always mess his name up. Olavier.
Oh man, Olave, man.
Yeah, Olave. Thank you.
If he's in the 4th, he's a Buckeye. You want to talk about?
You mean he's a Bengal? Boyd? You mean he's a Bengal?
I mean, well, yeah.
We already know he's a Buckeye.
But this is a Buckeye Bengal. I mean, 4th round, we get Olave. Let me tell you something. If you love Boyd and you've not watched a lot of the Buckeyes games, he is Boyd. I mean, this guy is. I'm telling you, he's gonna be gone well before the 4th. So there really ain't much reason to talk about it. But Olave is going to be a hell of a receiver in the NFL. That's it. That's all I can say, man. 4th round, I'd take him in a minute.
All right, I got to put this up. Dallas has only said it 500 times, but since they signed Eli Apple, I need to put Ohio State in the background. Not going to happen.
Hey.
You two are like you two and Keith. That's
Dallas. Dallas. There you go. You know what?
Good thing it's my show.
Exactly. Hey, that shows you how much I have to say, Dallas. No, you know what, dude? I agree with the second part, I guess, a little bit. As as in jest and fun, but the Eli Apple thing, yeah, come on. You watched Eli. We're just glad that he's going to be a backup cornerback, and that's good enough.
Now, Dallas is saying Olave is coming back next year.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, well, then we can't draft him in the 4th round.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I thought you were talking about.
No, he literally said draft him in the 4th round. That's what.
Oh no, he's coming back, man. So he that's why I was saying he'll be a first easy first rounder after this year. So that's what had me confused there.
Well, you've been getting confused a lot here in this show.
Well, I do kind of, look
Jen
who I work with.
Hi, it's me. Jen says, sorry guys for the question, but we know who people want at 5, and there are more than one round. People/fans need to realize this. Well, to be honest, fans are back and forth. I've heard fans say you got to take Sewell, you got to take Pitts, you got to take Chase. I mean, I've heard a lot of different ones, Jen. So I know when before this all started, it was Sewell or nothing else. I don't think a lot of fans are like that right now. But like I said, worst thing happens. We stay at 5. We get Sewell, we get Slater, we get Chase, we get Pitts. We get one of them. We're good.
That's exactly right. And I don't know what was the exact question?
What was the exact question?
From Jen?
Yeah, she said, sorry guys for the question, but we know who people want at 5. Meaning, I think she's saying they want Slater, Sewell.
Right, or Sewell.
There's more than one round. So right. She's agreeing with what we're saying. We don't have to take Sewell at 5. We can get offensive linemen in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th. That's
exactly. Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100% on that. Completely. We've got guys, especially guards. It would always be nice to have another tackle just in case one of our tackles happens to get injured for quite a few games. But I had to put this quote up. This is my silly son. He's just saying this to be a dork. Oh, imagine this.
He says this to me all the time just to tick me off. But you guys are overlooking the strong possibility that we have to rebuild and trade Burrow for more 1st-round picks. Man, get out of here.
Who raised you?
That I did. He's a smart ass. That's Prince Ice right there. So yeah,
the kid.
Disregard what he's saying. I figured he's being silly and he's actually watching my show. So, hi, buddy, how you doing? I'm glad you're actually watching the show for once. Did you do your show
for beer later, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's me and him going for beer later. Oh. What the hell? I go. Did you watch the show later? Hey, did you do your strawberry ice thing? I was like, what did I talk about? Sports. I'm like, okay, I'm glad you watched it. All right. We are in the perfect position to do what we want for the first time in a long time. We can go into the draft not stressing exactly, no matter who it is. They will be an impact player immediately. Exactly. That's exactly my point. I'm not worried about it. I mean, I can't remember. I would say when we're on our 5-year playoff run, I wasn't worried because we were just drafted to whatever the best player available was then. So, Anyway, let's take one more. I think Jen's got a follow.
I was going to say real quick, what was that last question there? Who was that from?
The one I just popped up?
Yeah, it looked like she was just on Facebook.
Yeah, it's more a statement.
It was a statement, yeah, I guess. Is she on YouTube? You on YouTube, Jamie Gray, or him?
She's on Facebook.
She's only on Facebook. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what the F's for. He wants you to go subscribe, but actually I think she has already. So.
Okay, that's what I was making sure that you went to Sports with Strawberry Ice.
Because Jen's asking questions from Facebook, and I know she subscribed. So.
Okay, good. I was just making sure I wasn't going to let you off let you off that easy there, Jamie.
Right. All right. Jen says, no, I'm saying there are 7 rounds, just not one. We have lots of options, and people need to realize this. The draft isn't 1 round. Exactly. Yeah. There's tons of options, and the Bengals have put themselves in a great position to have lots of options. And she says, yes, she has subscribed.
Yeah,
See?
and they're one of the better teams in
No. Did you see the
drafting
question?
in the later rounds.
Look, she answered you.
Yeah.
She subscribed.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
thank you. Just make sure. Hey, Jamie, my eye on you. Okay, just saying.
Oh, Jesus. All right, man, we're at 6:41, but everybody keeps asking questions. I'm like, all right, you good for a little while there, Jeremy? Back okay?
Hey, bro. Hey, let's roll them on out, bro.
All right, Josh. I would honestly love to see the Bengals go all. I'm a trade back into the second and get another good lineman or edge, which they can. That's kind of what I said. If you trade out of the fifth and you get another a second round pick, you can take Waddle with your first round pick, and then you can go take an edge or another offensive lineman with your 2 second round picks. So I'm good with that too.
Yeah, you could definitely get some good talent past 5 for sure, and then to move back. Yeah, I could see that. I don't see the Bengals doing it much. I don't know if I see it, but I could see it.
They'll trade back. They've traded back before. They won't trade up. They'll trade back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, they're not real big on.
All right, Ritter says, why don't we draft a linebacker early before round 4? Really draft the linebackers early besides Simmons. I mean, they drafted 3 last year, dude. I mean, and I'm like I said, Davis and Wilson, I think we're pretty good. So, and if we sign Josh Bynum, I'm not saying we're set, but that's not. Last year that was an issue. It's linebacking core really isn't an issue this year.
Yeah.
It's on the defense right now. It's more of getting an edge guy and maybe another interior lineman. You know, that's more. It's not really linebackers. So they could, but I don't see it as a need that they have to do right now, especially since they drafted 3 of them last year, and 2 of them played really well as far as rookies goes. So.
And never forget, just because, we took a linebacker in the 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, doesn't mean they're no good just because we didn't take them in the 1st round. I mean, Logan Wilson showed out until he got hurt. Gaither Davis, compared to some, or by the view of some Bengal reporters, insiders, don't believe that he was even used right, that he's got a lot more speed to come after the quarterback.
Shocking. Armadillo didn't use him right. Wow, that's surprising.
Exactly. So just because we drafted these guys, a little bit later in the draft does not mean they're not good whatsoever. I mean, these dudes, I'm sure you watched
thing too. Like I've said a couple times in this show here today, the Bengals, their track record is they're very, very good at finding defensive players later in rounds.
Yeah.
Their track record is that. So let's just don't give up on Wilson or Davis Gaither yet. I think they'll be good.
No.
All right. I think we went a little overtime today. I think we're going to roll on out of here. But I'd like to invite you guys to join all the Facebook groups that let me live stream on them. I appreciate every single one of them. They are Houday Nation, which is a great group. Go join them. Cincinnati Reds, rounding third, heading for home. I promise we're going to talk some Red stuff here. Got opening day less than 2 weeks away, so I'm very excited about that. So join that group. Bearcat Country, which Bearcat fans, go read the article from The Athletic, the interview with David DeJulius. It's a very insightful interview with him of what he had to go through this season, and it kind of might give you some insight into the players and what's going on. So check that out before you guys want to go and rip Brandon, all you want. Anyway, the Ohio State Bucknuts. Make sure you subscribe to those guys. Or not subscribe, but join the group. The Ice Bar. It's our little Facebook show page. It's a virtual bar. And if you guys want to join, please answer the questions, because it's a very simple question. Do you watch the show? What do you like about the show? Something like it's, if you don't know what the show is, which is this show right here, Sports Strawberry Ice, then why do you want to be on the Ice Bar? It's kind of, so you get kind of the jokes that we do and different stuff. So answer the question. It helps me out to let you guys in. And then follow me on Facebook. The Facebook page is Sports with Strawberry Ice. As of right now, one-on-one on the air, I have 804 likes. I'm followed by 859 people. Now, this is kind of cool. My Twitter's blown up here in the last couple weeks, which I haven't done a whole lot on Twitter, but I'm starting to get more into Twitter. As of right now, I have 222 people following me. I'm on Instagram, TikTok. Podcast will be up. Make sure you like, rate, review. Give me a 5-star review. BeanPod, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, wherever you get your podcast. YouTubers. I wrote down we're at 905. I think somebody said I'm at 907 now, I think. I don't know if that's official because I haven't looked. Either way, that's awesome. We are less than 100 away. Let's try to get to 1,000 as fast as we can. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everybody. Please subscribe to Sports Strawberries. I appreciate the support. I mean, if I get to the point where I'm monetized, who knows what we can do with the show because it just boosts it out there more. I'm trying like crazy to get a Bengal on here. I actually instant messaged Quinton Spain on Twitter to try to get him to come on the show. He hasn't answered. But when I get monetized, it might open more doors, more opportunities for me to go different places with the show. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors, please subscribe to Sports with Strawberry Ice, and we'll see where this thing goes. Other than that, Jeremy, dude, you help us roll on out of here.
I will do it, man. And we are getting so close to that 1,000 mark. It's thrilling to know all this. And then even before me, all of you doing all that work, doing your thing, asked me to come along, 6-7 months ago. It's been a thrill. It's been a ride. I ask one more time, I won't bring it up again, but everybody that's watching the show now or watches it again, please have one friend, one sports friend that's a Bengal fan, Buckeye fan, doesn't matter, Ohio sports fan.
Just grab their phone and go to YouTube and hit and type in sports with, and Strawberry Ice can pop up and make them subscribe. I've literally done that to a couple of people.
I'm about to start just to get us there. But it's so simple. And look, I know I mentioned this before, but you know what? As a Bengal fan my whole life, if as a kid we had what we have now, and I could sit here on my computer and watch two goons like us give me Bengals sports news and give me a little laugh, and it only be an hour and it's free, I'd be the happiest little Bengal boy in the world. Okay. So tell your friends, family, whatever. Give one person, send them our way. Sports with Strawberry Ice on YouTube. We're going to keep on doing this thing for you guys. Help us out the best you can. We appreciate it. We love you guys. And other than that,
everybody together, ready?
As always, remember one thing and one thing only, and that is, you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati, so act like it. Hoo-day.
Hoo-day. And as always, that's just sports, baby. See ya!